Everyone, what's going on? Here with another video. This video is, what is one moment when you realized you just fucked up? Posted by Big Red 6601. First one, not my fuck up necessarily, but I invited a friend over for a barbecue. He didn't know anyone and has never been to my house but seemed really eager to go. So I was a little irritated that he was almost 2 hours late. I was just about to text him when I happened to look over my neighbor's fence. The neighbor was also having a barbecue. It was like it happened in slow motion. I saw my friend in the neighbor's yard chatting up some old lady. Our eyes locked. I saw the realization literally hit his face. I still laugh about it. I swear the guy turned white. The first time I, age 8, dropped the F-bomb in front of my mom. It was exactly like that scene in Christmas Story. Time slowed as I heard the word exiting my mouth, yet was powerless to stop it. At least no soap for me, though. Direction driller and locator of 10 years here. Drilling in Miami quite a few years ago and was doing a fairly deep road crossing. Half a rod under the road, I felt a pop and proceeded to see a 30-foot tall stream shoot out of the road. I just drove into a 12-inch unmarked force main sewer. If you have never seen a 30-foot stream of raw sewage, you will never forget that smell. I pulled what I thought was my expired credit card out of my pocket and ran it through the shredder at work. It wasn't my credit card. It was my government ID card, which I also need to log in onto my computer for work. While I was doing my human bio test, I realized after handing in the paper that I needed to do 2 essays instead of 1. Quickest 5 stages of grief I went through. A while back, I was doing laundry and noticed our washer had a bit of a funky smell to it. I looked up some home remedy online that involved baking soda and vinegar, and while I was standing at the washer, I thought, a cup of bleach wouldn't hurt. As soon as I threw it in and started the washer, my brain went, hey, you probably shouldn't just be mixing chemicals all willy-nilly. So I pulled out my phone and Googled vinegar plus bleach, and just about shat my pants when I read the result. Vinegar and bleach equals toxic chlorine gas. I proceeded to panic and scream for everyone to get the hell out of the house. Be careful with chemicals, people. It's been almost 30 years since this happened, and I still have nightmares. Freshman year of college, my first set of college finals. I was totally prepared and ready to take them all. Had almost straight A's going into the finals. I go to my last one, which was a throwaway 3 credits of Introduction to Sociology. I sit down, ready to ace it, and look up at the board and see Biology 103. That's weird. I pulled out my calendar. The Sociology final was yesterday. The other day I was barbecuing, not paying attention, had a glove on my right hand that's oven safe. Someone handed me a beer and proceeded to talk to me. I took the beer with my right hand. I then opened the barbecue and grabbed the top grill with my left, unprotected, to adjust it. Pulled it halfway out before the heat registered. Once I did, the realization was pretty instant. The blisters were bad for over a week. When I climbed my school's roof, was quite a heavy kid, and I was out and about with my cousin and mates. After running around school, my friends dared me to go up on the roof, and, as I'm not a wuss, I gotta prove it to them that I'm not afraid to go on the roof. So after a while and much help, I got up, ran around there, and had a bit of fun, and then I had to get down. That's when I knew I fucked up. Nothing in sight to help me. All I could do was either call someone to help me, e.g. parents or firemen, or jump. Decided to take the risk and jump. Tried to do parkour like I saw in videos, jump and roll, you know. Ended with fucking up my foot, calling my parents and driving to the hospital. One question said I slipped while playing basketball. Foot is still fucked up to this day, and my mom thinks it was because of basketball. Just this morning, I heard a weird pop in the kitchen. I had a moment of total confusion and then remembered that I started hard-boiling some eggs more than 45 minutes ago. The pop was a hard-boiled egg exploding. Was at a bar, chatting with some friends. My girlfriend was across the room, sitting with some other friends. Some drunk dude showed up and started groping her. I jumped up, pushed him away, and yelled, "Fuck off." Then he turned around and I realized he was like twice my size, and not in that fat way, in the tall, muscular way. I mean, I did the right thing, but if the bartender hadn't leapt over the bar and jumped in between us immediately, like I would have wiped the fucking floor with me. The moment the dude turned around and I thought, fuck, this is gonna hurt. Here's a good one which happened last week. I had a little too much beer and passed out around 2 a.m. It was a couple hours after I woke up and had this feeling to take a shit, but at the same time, I felt like throwing up. As I run towards the washroom, I thought definitely I'm gonna throw up, but nothing came out. I was waiting on all four when I decided it was time to take a shit. Big fucking mistake. Halfway through, I realized I fucked up. Vomited all over the floor and on my legs. Worst part is I had to sit there 10 more minutes in that puddle while I was finished pooping. I've told this story before, but I invited this guy over to my place for dinner after we'd been casually seeing each other for 3 weeks or so. Things were going pretty well. We were chatting, getting along like a house on fire, and he was helping me cook dinner when I started to feel extremely intestinally unwell. I've always been kind of a private pooper, and I could tell that this one wasn't going to be a fun, so I asked him if he'd pop down to the shop at the end of the road to grab a bottle of wine for dinner. He agreed and toddled off down the street, and as soon as he was gone, I raced to the bathroom and relieved myself with something roughly akin to the force of, well, imagine they have a link, but in reverse. I took a minute to catch my breath, reached over for the toilet paper roll, and came back empty. Well, shit. No matter, I had a full 9-pack of toilet paper in the back room. I didn't have space to keep it in my tiny bathroom. It was a very small apartment. So I usually just grab a roll or two, and he'd only just gone. I had plenty of time. Cut to me 30 seconds later, pants around my ankles and my shit-caked bunghole, shimmying my way down the central hallway of my flat when I hear a still, small voice behind me. What are you doing? Turns out he managed to get to the shop and back in record time and was sitting on my couch in my living room with a perfect view of my little fecal burlesque. I was framed in the doorway like a goddamn Renaissance painting. It was as though I was presenting myself to him in the worst way possible. You like? Come on, in the history of dating. It's very difficult to have a civilized dinner after that. When I woke up to the time, it's 9:32. The exam is at 7:30. My friend didn't want to attend finals. I told him, just say someone died or something. He responded with, I already used that one last week. And then I remembered his mom died the week before. This blunder of mine wasn't over text either. We were sitting in our squad of friends talking, so everyone witnessed the retarded thing I said. New Year's Eve, 1999, I called a woman and I was very good friends with. Friends only. I was firmly in the friend zone at that time. She was also my boss. I had way too much to drink and was not in any way considered sober or even slightly so. I was pissed as a fart. I proceeded to tell this woman how I felt about her, what I wished to do with her, and how I wanted to do it. I told her this for about 45 minutes. Afterwards, I continued to drink. Several days later, back at work, she calls me into her office and asks me why I called her at New Year. I pulled a blank. I honestly cannot remember a thing. She also informed me that several minutes into the conversation, she handed the phone over to her mother. I still pulled a blank. In fact, I was so convinced that nothing happened, I was sure she was winding me up. If anything like that had happened after why was she still even talking to me, let alone letting me continue to work with her? She insisted that I called, and I refused to believe her. It was not until late January when I received my detailed mobile phone bill that showed a 48-minute phone call to her number late in December 31st. That I finally had to believe her. The difficult part was facing her mother after my boss and I became an item. We are now very, very happily married, but even now, my mother-in-law still takes the piss out of me over that phone call. My wife, however, is very happy. That's going to be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. You know my rant. Like, subscribe, comment, all that. And stick around for the next video.